Welcome back to the channel. So today we're in with a day in the life. Last time round we did a day in the life on a Saturday, my day off. Had a little bit of fun. Today is gonna be the complete opposite of that. It's during the week now. We're busy with business, with training, with cardio, training for a marathon, maintaining my own physique development. And those who don't know me, I run a big online fitness business. We specialize in men's transformations. And I'm very, very busy with that. And I'd say we built up a reputation now for being one of the best, I would say, in the UK for the standard and volume of results. So now in this video, I'm gonna show you my routine to operate at a high level, what I eat in a day to stay shredded, but also perform at my best, how I train to, again, operate at my best mentally, but also maintain my physique, and how I run the business. So it's now just gone 5:30 in the morning in Dubai. We're gonna start with a black coffee. We've got electrolytes, we've got a protein shake, first meal of the day. I always try and keep the first meal, I call it a meal, it's just a shake, very light. The last thing I wanna do first thing in the morning is eat a big, heavy breakfast. So I now start with the most important task of the day. And for me, that is the client check-ins, delivering with energy, and that is what is gonna get them the best results. So we're gonna get this down me and then we're gonna get stuck into work. So it's now 6 a.m. We're gonna be locked in here for 4 deep hours from 6 until 10. We're gonna get the most important tasks of the day done, and that is our client check-ins. I feel like my most energized now, and this is when I'm gonna be able to deliver the best check-ins to our clients. And ultimately the check-in process is the most important aspect of online coaching. It's where we review their training, their nutrition, their progression, their lifestyle, their mindset, anything impacting progression. We manage that, we monitor it, and we make sure it's optimized. Morning, bro. Thank you very much for this week's check-in. Now, I think the main thing we can understand this week is the importance of stress and fatigue management in a fat loss phase, because actually we're applying a lot less pressure now over the last 2 weeks. We've come in a kilo down last week, we're another kilo down this week, and midsection is so much tighter. Obliques are in, midsection's in, but also in terms of the muscular features, we're more vascular coming through in your arms, we're denser in the chest, denser in the delts, and in a 2-week time frame, just by managing stress and fatigue, we've seen a significant improvement from a visual standpoint. So it's now just gone 8 a.m, 2 hours into the work block, 2 hours to go. We're gonna put our first meal of the day in. Starting to get hungry, but also we're gonna be training soon, so we need some pre-workout fuel. But the beauty of Dubai is you can order food in very quickly. It'll come in like 20, 30 minutes. What I don't wanna be doing is meal prepping all day, so a couple of my meals will be ready-made, saves me time, and it also gives me the macros. So we've got an egg and turkey bacon burrito wrap here. We've got just over 500 calories, 28 grams of fats, 36 grams of carbs, 40 grams of protein. So moderate to low carb intake, high protein intake, high fat intake. For me now, my main goal is not physique development. Right now, it's about maintaining my physique, but also operating at the highest level for my business. So we've got healthy fats in here, good quality protein. It's gonna keep me satiated. Healthy fats are good for cognitive function, and it's not a big, heavy meal that's gonna make me feel lethargic. Now, if I was bodybuilding again, and my main focus was building muscle, I'm in a gaining phase, this meal would probably be more something like cream of rice or oats, something higher in glycogen, which is gonna be the main source of energy for performance levels. But as I said, I'm not really looking to build muscle at the minute. I'm just looking to maintain my physique. One thing I am gonna be doing very, very soon is getting into a 4-week aggressive cut. I want to get as shredded as possible, and we're going to document that very soon on YouTube. I've got the marathon in a week and a half now. We're going to recover from that for about a week, get back to Dubai, and then lock in for a 4-week aggressive cut where nutrition then is going to be very physique development related. But right now, as I said, it's about cognitive function. It's about feeling energized for my business, but also still being able to perform well in the gym. So gonna munch into this, finish the 2-hour work block, and then we're gonna get the trim. So that's check-ins done, it's now 10. I'm gonna go and get a haircut, but I also need some movement. It's been quite an intense morning, to be honest. With check-ins, you need to give the lads energy. Like, they rely on you to energize them.
And if you're sitting there speaking 4 or 5 hours, delivering high energy, the back end of it, like you feel quite tired. So get some sunlight now, go for a walk, listen to a bit of music, get a haircut. That's gonna re-energize me. We're gonna get a small snack for pre-workout, like a square bar, something high in glycemic index, glycogen to fuel my performance levels. And then we're gonna hit a big push session. I'm gonna break down a little bit with what I do as well from a training standpoint. It's been a few weeks, if not months, since I've actually given a little bit more detail within actual training. So yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this walk, get my energy back in, get a haircut, get to the gym, big session, do some cardio. Post-workout meal will then go in, and then we're gonna get into the next work block of the day. We've got a familiar face in there. Wasn't intentional either. Friday trim up, same routine. So that is Friday trim secured. Not many better feelings than getting a Friday trim ready for the weekend. But we're just walking round the marina now. Banging walk, feeling good. Gonna go to Spinneys, which is like the equivalent to Waitrose in the UK. Get a pre-workout snack, get some more fuel in, and then we're gonna annihilate a big session. We're gonna be hitting push. We're then going to be doing cardio. We're going to be training abs. Training's in a good spot at the minute. Enjoying it, pushing myself hard. So we're putting the work in. So get a few steps now. Going to hit, at the minute I'm hitting about 10k steps a day. So this walk alone is like 5k steps, which is very important, to be honest, when it's coming to staying in shape. 10k steps for me is going to burn like 400 calories a day. 400 calories accumulated across the course of the week. You're going to massively impact how lean you can keep yourself. And the beauty of it is you're not really generating any fatigue in the process. Very effective way of expending calories without generating too much fatigue. Right, let's get into it. Full send push session. We're going to start with an isolation movement. For me, I always like to start with an isolation movement. So we're gonna go in machine pec deck here. The rationale behind that is I've just found a couple of things. Lower risk of injury. Since doing it, I never, touch wood, get injured, but also just mind to muscle connection. It gets me connecting with that muscle, ready for the bigger compound movements, and it gets some blood flow into the muscle. So we're gonna start here, machine pec deck. Now, very effective movement for developing a big chest, but it's probably one of the most common movements that I see people butcher. And one of the biggest mistakes I see people make is they just focus on bringing their hands together. And it's what I call this crab-like motion, where they roll their shoulders forward, their elbows are out there, and they're just bringing their hands together. Now this actually just takes a lot of the tension off your chest, puts it on your delts, puts it on your bicep. So what you actually want to focus on here is retracting your shoulders back, elevating your chest, and imagine squeezing your elbows together. Bring your arms straight on that concentric, and that puts the tension on your chest. It also gets your chest in the fully shortened range. So we're going to do 3 sets of 8 to 15, 2 top sets of 8 to 12 reps, 1 back off set of 14 to 16 reps, high level intensity, pushing to failure. And if you can get that accuracy where you're controlling the movements, optimizing the tension on the working muscle, driving it to failure, progressively overloading, that's when you're going to start building a serious amount of tissue. So movement number 2, we've got incline Smith press. Now, I'm a big fan, and always within my programming, I like to optimize machine variations, whether that's Smith machine, whether it's a hammer strength pressing machine, especially when you're in a fat loss phase. Now for me, I'm not in a fat loss phase, but I've got a marathon coming up imminently. And for me now, it's about managing fatigue. When you optimize machine variations, there's less reliance on leverage, stability, and it's easier to maximize performance levels at a time where you're sort of dropping body fat. if you're dumbbell pressing, like the energy to get your dumbbells up on your legs, kick it back, that energy could be spent driving the force when you're optimizing machines. Now, when you're in a gaining phase, you're in a calorie surplus, recovery capacity's through the roof, got loads of energy, that is when there's a time and a place for free weight movements. And everyone's gonna have their own preference, but for me, I'm a massive fan of machine variations. And what you're gonna see now is slow, controlled eccentrics, making every rep as hard as possible, and even getting a split-second pause in the length and range, take that momentum out. So let's get into it. So again, just combining that precision accuracy, but high level intensity training. But I really like on my chest presses, and this for me has changed the game in my chest development, is getting that split second pause, really optimizing tension in the length and range, getting that stretch, taking the momentum out, just put so much tension on your chest. So movement number 3 now, we've got machine flat press. We're gonna do 2 sets, 1 set of 8 to 12, 1 set of 14 to 16 reps. Now again, very effective movement, but a lot of people butcher it, and I think a lot of people struggle to build their chest, and they actually build big front delts because they put a lot of the tension on their delts. So common mistakes I see, number 1 is your elbows are flared. If your elbows are flared, you're gonna drive a lot of that with your delt. So what you actually wanna do is tuck your elbows. If you look at that, elbows are tucked, not flared. That drives it with your chest. What we then need to focus on is your tempo. So we're gonna drive the concentric, 1 to 2 seconds, get a 1 second squeeze, 3 second eccentric, split second pause, and then drive that concentric. And then the last thing to look at is make sure you've got your shoulders retracted, elevate your chest. Again, a lot of people roll their shoulders forward and turn it into a shoulder press. Movement number 4, we're going to move on to delts now. So 3 chest movements. Chest now is feeling that fatigue. We're going to move on to machine shoulder press. Again, optimizing another machine variation. I do like dumbbell shoulder presses. As I said, if I wasn't training for a marathon and I didn't have to worry about fatigue and I had a lot of food in the plan, I'd be getting the dumbbells out and I'd be looking to get strong. But right now, this is a good movement for me. Now again, common mistakes I see with shoulder presses. Firstly is no control over the tempo, rushing the eccentric, not optimizing tension in the length and range. Also range of motion, one end of the spectrum to the other. Rather not coming down low enough and you're not lengthening your delts out, or actually coming in too far where it comes down to the top portion of your chest. It's an unnatural position, also you're gonna start losing tension off your shoulders. So you just wanna always get the bar in line with your lower chin. And again, just get a split second pause in there and you'll feel the difference in your training. If you start swinging using momentum, you're gonna take tension off your delts. So time under tension on the eccentric, get the right range of motion, split second pause, drive that concentric, get a 1 second squeeze. The last movement on delts, we're gonna do dumbbell side lateral raises. Now again, I think this and pec flies is the most common movement I see people butchering. And a lot of people will drive up from their hands. Their hands will be up there and their elbows will be down there. What you wanna focus on is driving up from the elbows. So you wanna lock that angle between your wrist and your bicep, hands just outside your hips. And imagine dragging your knuckle along the floor and then up the wall. And if you look, my elbow's always on top of my hand and I'm just dragging my knuckle out diagonally. Now the real fun begins. That's chest and shoulders boxed off. We're now going to get into a 10-kilometer run. Aiming for 50 minutes at the minute. Yesterday it took me 60 minutes for 12k, average pace 5 minutes a kilometer. To be honest, I was quite happy and proud of that. There's quite a lot of mass there to carry for long distance running. So we're going to get into this. I'm not looking forward to it. Legs are quite tired. This will probably be one of the longest runs I do now until the marathon next Sunday. But we need to keep active. We need to keep the legs moving. So let's get into this. We're then going to get a quick sauna, shower, big, nice post-workout meal. So I'll catch you again at the post-workout meal. Training done, and now probably the highlight of my day is eating this post-workout meal. So we got a scoop of whey protein mixed with water and ice. We've then got the best and biggest bowl of oats you'll ever see. We've got honey on the side, we've got berries, we've got banana with it, we've got some peanut butter in it as well. And I cannot wait to get stuck into this. Macros, we've got 45 grams of protein, 20 grams of fats, 100 grams of carbs, and calories for the meal, 760 calories. Arguably the most important meal of the day, replenishing glycogen, getting your body back into an anabolic state. We're gonna enjoy this post-workout meal, and again, I'll see you back at home.
The hustle is real. We're back at the desk now for the next work block, third work block of the day. So we've done our biggest work block in the morning, 6 till 10, 4 hours. We've then had the haircut, trained. We've done a 2.5-hour work block in the gym. What we're doing now is we're programming for new guys who are coming into the program, building out their nutrition, their supplements, their training, their cardio. We're then onboarding them, giving them the full rundown of the roadmap, everything that they need to know for their journey, and getting their results underway. I think a lot of people see me living in Dubai thinking I must just live some fun, unreal life. But other than Saturdays, this is my life. It's training, it's working, it's hustling. But to be honest, that's when I feel like my happiest. When I'm not productive, my mental health goes to shit. When I'm eating well, I'm training, I'm working hard, I'm getting shit done. That's when I feel good. We've got big goals. We're building a very big business at the minute. Everything's stepping in the right direction. And now we just need to keep our foot on the gas, keep working hard and making it happen. Let's get the programming done, and I'll see you guys at meal number 4. Third work block of the day done. Meal 4 going in now. Taste, 10 out of 10. Presentation, 2 out of 10. What we've got here, 5% fat beef mince, we've got pasta, and we've got bolognese sauce. High protein, high carb now. So staples for me when I build a meal plan out, obviously my energy balance, my macros. But in terms of food selection, I need, firstly, foods that are gonna taste nice. I need to enjoy everything I eat, otherwise I'm not gonna sustain it. So that'll always be like a key driver. We need good quality protein. So today we've had eggs, we've got beef mince, we've had whey protein in there as well. We then need carbs that are gonna be high in glycemic index, but also carbs that are gonna be a little bit lower, which takes a little bit longer to digest. So something like pasta is going to give you more sustained energy, so is oats. Something like honey is going to give you more quick energy. We then need healthy fats in there for cognitive function, also for hormone health. So again, today, like we've had the eggs in there, we've had peanut butter in the oats, and these are like the staples going in there. So if you get the right energy balance, the right macro breakdown, the right micronutrients, foods that you enjoy, good quality protein for muscle protein synthesis, the right carbs, which is going to give you energy, fats for cognitive function, you're going to hit the jackpot with your nutrition plan. But cooking this up now, I'm going to look at the macros in a second. So macros of this meal, we've got 740 calories, 63.5 grams of protein, 99 grams of carbs, 10.5 grams of fat. So prioritizing protein and carbs. So far today, we're on 2,340 calories. Just under 180 grams of protein, around 246 grams of carbs, 70.5 grams of fats. We've then got one more meal going in later today. I need quite a lot of food. Firstly, I am just under 91 kilos. I was 90.5 kilos. I've also got quite a lot of muscle, and I'm also moving a lot, as we've seen. Done a 10-kilometer run, we've done an intense training session, hitting 10K steps. So for me to sustain that, I need to be on 3,000 to 3,200 calories a day, which is a nice position for me because I'm a massive food person, so it works well for me. So gonna enjoy this, and then gonna walk the dogs who've been waiting patiently for their next walk, hit my 10K steps for the day, and then we're gonna lock into the final work block of the day, which is just calls. It's more sort of rewinding later on this evening. Anyone who's looking to join our program will get on a call, we'll assess their situation, and typically that will take me from 7 to about 10. In between that, I might do some admin work, we get to bed, and then we rinse, repeat. So I'll see you guys at the next meal and the final work block of the day. So it's been a big day. We've had a lot to do from a business standpoint. I was up at 5, started working by 6. By the time I finish, it's gonna be about 9:30. We've trained hard, we've done a lot of output with steps, with cardio, we've been eating clean, and ultimately that is how I build my business, how I stay in shape. I've got a good routine, I'm effective with my time. I'm eating well, which makes me stay lean all year round. Training hard makes me retain muscle tissue. And to me, it's not a chore. Like, I enjoy everything. Super inspired with the business that we're building. Sitting here working now, like Friday night, I actually enjoy that. Again, I enjoy all of the food that I'm eating. I'm enjoying my training sessions. I enjoy the cardio. So it's never a chore. And I think that's the most important part. You need to build a routine that works for you. What works for me might not work for you. You need a structure and a plan that you're going to enjoy, foods that you're going to enjoy. So I love crumpets and jam, like you might not like that. You need to find what works for you. Everyone's body is going to be different. But that's a wrap for today. It's been a big day, quite tired now. We've got one more call, one more meal, and then get to bed Saturday tomorrow. And as you saw in last week's video, we're going to enjoy some downtime, recharge the batteries, and then Sunday we hit it hard again. So I'll see you guys on the next episode.